You won't believe the day I had. And honestly, looking back, I'm not sure I believe it either. It started before sunrise. I couldn't sleep. I never really could. So I got up and walked outside, and there it was, Neverland, glowing in the early light. My chimp came running up to me like he always did, and for a few minutes it was just us. No cameras, no screaming fans, no lawyers waiting on the phone. Just me and the animals and the quiet. People always ask me why I built this place. The truth is, I never had a childhood. I was working before I lost my baby teeth. So I built the childhood I never got. And I shared it with every kid who needed it more than I did. By 9 in the morning, I was already in the studio. I had a melody stuck in my head from a dream the night before, and I knew if I didn't get it down, it would slip away forever. That's how the best songs came to me. Not from sitting at a piano, from dreams, from the air, from somewhere I can't even explain. I sang the same line maybe 40 times that morning. The producers thought I was crazy, but I could hear something they couldn't. One wrong breath and the whole thing falls apart. People don't understand that. They think the magic just happens. It doesn't. You bleed for it. After lunch, I went to the dance studio, and let me tell you something. Dancing is not what people think it is. It's not fun. It's war. It's me against my own body every single day. I rehearsed 1 8 count for 3 hours that afternoon. 3 hours, until my feet were numb and my shirt was soaked through. But when I finally got it right, I knew it would change everything. Then came the hardest part of the day, showtime. I sat in my dressing room and stared at myself in the mirror for a long time. I do that before every show. I look at my reflection and I say goodbye to Michael. Because the man who walks out on that stage isn't me. He can't be. He has to be something more. I put on the jacket. I pulled on the glove. I tilted the fedora just right, and I felt it happen. The shift, the transformation. Then I heard them. 50,000 people chanting my name. You think you know what that sounds like, but you don't. It shakes the building. It shakes your bones. My hands started trembling. They always did. After all those years, the fear never left me. I just learned how to use it. The lights went down. I walked out onto that stage, and the moment the spotlight hit me, something took over. I can't describe it. I became the music. I became every song I ever wrote. I moonwalked across that stage, and I swear to you, I felt the entire stadium stop breathing. A girl in the front row fainted. A boy was crying so hard his mother had to hold him up. People were reaching for me like I could save them. And the crazy thing is, in that moment, I felt like maybe I could. I gave them everything I had, every spin, every freeze, every note. By the end of the night, I had nothing left. I stood at the edge of the stage, looked out at all those faces, and I cried. Not because I was sad, because I knew. I knew I would never forget that night, and neither would they. The ride home was quiet. It always was. I pressed my head against the window and watched the city disappear behind me. Nobody tells you how lonely it gets. Nobody tells you that the bigger the love, the heavier it weighs. When I got back to the ranch, I climbed up to my favorite hill and sat under the stars. And I thought about everything. The little boy in Gary, Indiana, singing into a hairbrush. My brothers, my mother, the records that came after that. All the people who loved me, all the people who turned on me. And I realized something that night that I'd never really understood before. They were never going to know me. Not really. They were going to love a version of me. They were going to hate a version of me. They were going to write books and make movies and tell stories about a man they invented in their own heads. But up on that hill, with the stars above me and the silence all around, I knew who I really was. I was just a kid who loved music, a kid who wanted to make people feel less alone, a kid who never grew up and maybe never wanted to. They called me the King of Pop, but that was never the title I wanted. I just wanted to be remembered as someone who cared. And if you're hearing this story right now, then maybe, just maybe, I was.